going to open another link here so I can kind of follow and see what is happening. I'm going to mute the other screen. So guys, please just bear with me. Give me half a second. I'm just going to get one thing here that I need to get going. So I'm not myself. I'm going to turn this one. Okay, yes, there we go. This is happening now. This is amazing. Okay, I'm back to the camera. Starting the day, starting the month, starting the week. Good morning, Julie, connecting with me from Western Canada. Wow, it's 7 a.m. for me here in Arnprior, the Ottawa region. It's 5 a.m. for Julie. Wow, starting the power hour. And I'm so happy that I have some people connecting and joining me this morning to get the week going in a high note. Yes, now, last week, as a matter of fact, I'm going to say last week, I've been in this season. Oh my goodness, can you hear me? I'm talking and talking, but my headphones they're down. Let me make sure that I put the headphones here. And I've been in this season of an interesting challenge, right? And it's actually very interesting when you put things into perspective and we realize that the one asset we have that when we lose is gone is time. Yes, time, time. The week that I had before is gone. It's gone. Like, I'm not going to have that back ever again. And I've been thinking about the things that I did in the past so I can make corrections in my present that will have an impact on my future. And guys, it's so easy to go out there and tell people what to do and give suggestions and brainstorm and, oh, why you're not creative, and come with all these ideas and these great insights and all the books that I read. And again, if you see here my desk, I have a pile of books that I'm reading. I just went through this book and Dr. Benjamin Hart, another amazing book that I recommend. And I was doing some studying about real estate in the US, and I bought this book who talks about short-term and mid-term rental. Like, amazing book, like amazing content. Oh, I'm just gonna go through my list of books. And the You Better book, an amazing one with 21 proven ideas to build a better life. And this is another book that my wife got to me, and this talks about romance and talks about intimacy, all about us. Amazing book. And then a meditation, how to heal your own life. Yes. And this is also another book that I started reading. It like very colorful and with a lot of pictures and imagery. Beautiful, beautiful book. Was given to me by a friend. I love this book. And then I was on the live event with Alex Hormozi, and I got his book as well. Oops, can you see there? Yeah, 100 Million Leads. Amazing book. And here is the one thing. Oh, and this weekend, I was reading another book that talks about the 12-week year, and I made a lot of notes here. And this is the one that I want to talk today about. And the reason being is because a lot of us, through this learning and this education and this like ocean of information that we keep receiving and getting, and then jumping from one mastermind to another mastermind, from one coach to another coach, one mentor to another mentor, and just like getting and receiving and feeding. And sometimes it gives us the rush. We go to the events and we go to the meetups and we go to the masterminds and we go to the conferences, and you have the rush, that dopamine that comes through our bodies and make us feel good, right? It's that feel good feeling. It's like, oh my goodness, I am in the right group of people, and I'm in the right room, and I'm in the right vibe, and the right energy. Yes, this is amazing. Let's go. And I've been thinking, what am I doing? So I got in this like funk. And I'm just going to give a little bit of story. 2004, exact 20 years ago, I was 2.5 years away of, because I was 27 and a half at the time. I mean, 27 and a half. Less than that, because my birth is August. But you get the point. And I was turning 30 in 2 years. So 2004, I was 27 and a half. 2006 is the year that I turned 30. And I had everything planned out. Like I went to law school in Brazil and was practicing law in a amazing, amazing office bureau with these amazing lawyers. Some of them we are friends to this day. And like we kept in touch. I mean, of course, through social media, but we are commenting and following each other, and why not? And it's the year that I got married for the first time. And I had my band, and I had a CD, I had a radio show, and I was on TV and touring. It was fantastic. And I look around and say, oh my goodness, what I've been planning is happening. This is so amazing. Right? We launched the CD, we got a label, we signed with the label, like well, everything was amazing. And I was having that little experience of a celebrity like would look like that lifestyle, right? You go to places and then you go to the show and you sing, perform, you talk, and people come and they want your autograph and they want to take pictures with you, and you go in place and people recognize you. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of cool, especially in our late 20s, like a lawyer. And being a lawyer in Brazil, or there's some certain careers in Brazil that gives a lot of status, and the status means a lot, especially for somebody like me that came from the hood. It counts. Like, I made it. I mean, not necessarily financially, but the status was coming. And then, of course, in my mind, well, I got the money, or I got the vibe, I got the car, I got the watch, I got the shoes, the suit, I got the career, the stigma, the name. The money is just the next one. It's coming on the pipeline. Okay. Then something tragic happened, and my then wife, she experienced a horrible, horrible, horrible experience. And it was something that happened through someone that we really trusted, and broke trust. It had really like a terrible impact in our relationship, and from there it was downhill. So I had like that moment, that 2 years later, 2006, when I finally turned 30, and everything that was building up, the musical career, the speaking career, the lawyer career, like the radio, like all of that, the entertainment, like building, 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 build momentum, momentum. And then 30 years old, I turned 30 years old, boom, crashed. And my life went upside down, like completely upside down. Like, what I'm going to do now? And then the idea of immigrating to Canada started, and it's like, well, now everything was about Canada. I have never been Canada before, and I started studying and reading and going to events and workshops. Like, I like went all in. Yes, when I turned 34 years old. So 4 years later, so that journey of coming to the moment in my career as a lawyer and a speaker and singer and radio host, and why not, is like was stopped because of the tragedy that we experienced. And then Canada became the holy grail. Oh my goodness, everything's gonna be different. Gonna change my life. Is my chance to start from zero. Okay, move to Canada. 2004, 2010 was when I landed. And I started a new life again from scratch. No family, no background, no language, no nothing, but 2 bags and money to survive for a month. But we started over, and boom, 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 boom. Now where do I find myself? In the same predicament as I found myself 20 years ago. I am 2.5 years away of turning 50. Half a century. Yes, I'm getting there. The big five is coming my way. And I didn't experience the 2008 crash in the real estate market because at the time, again, I was broke, I was devastated, and I was focused in getting myself ready to immigrate to Canada. So I didn't really feel it. Now, came here, 2020, beginning of the pandemic, 2019, I decided to finally dedicate time and education to become a full-time real estate investor. Now or never. And I'm a type of person that I'm either I am all in or I am all out. I don't have that balance, that sweet balance. It's like I'm doing this and boom, I go all in. And it's like, not really, and I go in a different direction. But here's what happened. Because I am naturally someone that likes to take a lot of action, and when something that I'm passionate about and I'm gonna do this and I go all in, I started investing like everywhere, from West Coast to East Coast to Southern Ontario, US, like you name it. And now, as the market changes, I find myself in a very interesting predicament. All these assets, many of these assets in my personal name as a personal guarantor, my uh, my financial reality also changed for a few decisions that I made along the way because now I'm a real estate investor. You're like, oh, I want to quit my job. Yes, do it. You can do this, and all that conversation, right? But anyways, the point that I'm trying to make is this: I'm here sitting in my house yesterday, to be precise. Yesterday in the afternoon, we have a nice yard. In the yard, we have swings for the kids, and I laid there. It's like we have a big one that you can literally lay on the swing. And swing was a beautiful, sunny, blue sky, sunny day, blue sky, beautiful. And I'm laying there, swinging, just thinking about my life. Oh my goodness, that feeling that I had in 24, right? 24 to 26 to 2010, that feeling. But I'm my precisely 24 because that's when I was going through that motion of finding, oh, I got to the top and then boom, I went all the way to the bottom. And then right after 2006, and I turned 30. So I'm going through that feeling. And I remember, oh my goodness, it feels like 24. And I don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 years when I'm actually turned 30. And in my mind, in my plans was like this: when I'm 30, I will be already a prestigious lawyer. I'm going to be teaching at the university where I graduated. I had a really good rapport with everybody at the university, and I'm going to be this influencer that making difference in the community and changing people's lives and blah 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 blah. With and starting my PhD, nothing happened. Okay, because of the curveball that was thrown at me. So as my mind went there, and I'm how did I feel? Oh, that was painful. And I'm feeling the pain now. And I'm like, oh my goodness. It feels like that everything's crumbling, and investors are like calling me and messaging me and coming. I mean, they are in the right because a lot of things changed, right? And I'm here, guys. I am here. I'm not running away from anybody. And then you turn social media on. Oh my goodness, such and such who was an inspiration in the community just filed for bankruptcy. And then like this fear going around. And I'm like, oh my goodness, if this person is this predicament, what's going to happen to me and all my deals and all my assets and blah, 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 blah. And then it start going over. Okay. Being very pity, like, and just having the moment of pittiness. I'm like, oh, life, what is happening? Oh, nobody commenting yet. Yeah. Okay. So then I started feeling really sorry for myself. When you feel like, oh, poor Sandro. Oh my goodness, what is happening with Sandro? And that feeling that, and then something interesting happened. I have a brother. He just got married recently. He lives in Orlando. We are very close. We are people told us that we are Irish twins because we have a year and a half between us, or a little over and a half a year and 6 months apart. And he called me last night. I was in bed, and he called me. It's like, man, how are you doing? I haven't heard from you these past few days. And then I did this. What's my body language, right? I was like in bed, and then when I saw his call, I was like, I'm gonna take my brother's call. I sat on bed, and it's like, I'm like, shoulders down, right? Man, I'm just going. I'm not gonna say anything negative, so I'm gonna say, fantastic. I'm doing well. And again, I was pity, right? I was having that day that I was feeling sorry for myself. And then I said, oh, but wait a minute. Like, what are you talking about? Some people making some comment here. Let me just make sure that I don't miss anybody. But and he said, like, what are you talking about? It's like, oh man, everything that I planned, everything that I projected, everything, all things happening in the market this and the market that. Just 1 second here, because somebody sent me a request. Let me see if I'm not leaving anybody behind. Just give me a few seconds here. And I'm gonna do this. I'm trying to find different screens here. Okay. All right. On that conversation, I said, well, but think about this. Yes, you are going through a difficult time, but it doesn't mean that you are where you were 20 years ago. You have the knowledge. You actually have the assets. I mean, you didn't lose any property. You have all these properties. Do you have these properties? I do have these properties, but the interest rates this and the payments that, and like again, being paid. It's like, Sandro, stop. Okay, little brother, talk to me. And he said, well, think about this. What would be different if the interest rates they didn't go up? And they're like, oh, investor would be paid back, and then you start going, right? Like, oh, if this and this would happen, and this would happen, and this would happen. It's like, yeah, but like, it didn't. It's changed. Forget about that. It's like, true. So stop being pity. Stop focusing on the problem and focus on the solution. Open your mind to think about the solutions. Like, okay, you're right. And this was like already like 9 p.m. yesterday. It's like, you know what? You're absolutely right. Turn the light on, got my books, and then I went back to reading the 12-hour week. It's a book that I really like. It's like, this is what I want to talk about in the morning. And again, this happened last night. So went through the book, and the first thing that literally jumped on my eyes is this one. The decisions you make today determine the results you get tomorrow. If you want a great future, you need to make better decisions. Now, very interesting that as I'm having this conversation with my brother, said, well, when you go through pain and you go through harshness and you go through difficult times, like right now, you did a bunch of deals, didn't you? Yes, I did. Okay. Now with the experiencing considering what you're experiencing now, if a project was presented to you, would you act differently? Would you be more thorough in your due diligence? Absolutely. Okay. So yes, the school of life is the hard one because the school of life teaches lessons that are difficult and painful. Like, oh my goodness, they are painful, but we won't forget. So much so that when I revisit my feelings from 20 years ago, it feels like it just happened because that experience was so vivid. And now I am 20 years older than then, come into my big five that is knocking the door. I can already see waving at me and take all of this and go from where I am to the next level. Because what brought me here will not bring me there. And this is what I say to you as well. What brought you here will not take you there. You need new ideas, you need new connections. We need, let's say we, because this I'm talking to myself, we need new ideas, we need new connections, we need new strategies. We are trying to get different results doing the exact same thing over and over and over and over again, already knowing that we are trying to do is not working. Another great insight that I had reading the book. Are you prepared to throw your reputation in a trash can? What were you talking about? Throw my reputation in the trash can? Like, why would I do that? Here's the thing. A lot of us, we are so preoccupied with Here's the thing. We are so proud of us. We are getting a little bit of reverb here. We are so preoccupied with the quote unquote reputation that we at times we don't do what we have to do because we're so concerned about what people is going to say, what they're going to say. Like, oh my goodness, I can't do this or I can't do that. Right? Now, what if you had to do something? And yes, I'm just answering a question here. What if you had to do something and you had nothing to lose? What would you do? Now, go there and position yourself in a way that, okay, I got to do something here. And I have literally nothing to lose. Because when you have something to lose, we get attached to it. The reputation, the prestige, or stuff. This is all stuff, right? But then it's like, if I didn't really care about what people are thinking, would I do something differently? Yes. What would I do differently? And those are the thoughts that I'm coming. But again, going back to the book, unless commitment is made, there are only promises and hopes, but no plan. Oh, I was part of, as a matter of fact, I'm still part of a mastermind or a community of investors, and I keep investing and joining as I can. I had to stop the last few months just because of the challenge that I'm going through, but I'm constantly investing in myself. And I joined Well Genius, and I joined Inspired, and I joined a group of investors that came from Black Card University, and I joined Bigger Pockets, and now Better Life with Beard Brandon. Like, you name it. Like, I've been jumping in these communities and connected to other individuals. Oh, let's take massive action. Let's connect with other people. Let's build wealth with other people's money. And oh my goodness, even one of the communities that I joined, they wrote a post that was like, oh my goodness. A gentleman from Alberta is somebody that I really look up to, is a wise investor, a younger guy. He's younger than me, I believe, but like very, very sharp. And he made this post, and I could see not the anger, but I could see the sharpness, right? And I mean, for the lack of better word, not that he's an angry person, but the anger in seeing newer investors. As I'm considered a new investor, I started my professional journey as a professional investor in 2020 on the hype of the market, where everybody could come and invest, and everybody was doing investments. Everybody now is an investor. Everybody's going to quit the job and live off real estate until everything turned and we are where we are. Anyways, the long story short is a lot of promises, a lot of hype out there, a lot of, oh, I was there, now I'm here, so can you, which is all good. Like, yes, yeah, and again, I'm proof. No, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna take action, I'm gonna build. And guys, I'm the guy that would go on the stages and I'll get my chicken breast and guys, in my first year as an investor, I did this and that, and I built a portfolio this size, and blah, 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 like gibberish, right? But the question that people are not asking, okay, Mr. Eight Figures portfolio, how much money are you bringing home? Whoops! No, don't ask the question. Don't ask that. Like, yes, because you're not bringing money, Sandro. You're not bringing any money home. As a matter of fact, you're that close to being broke because of these assets that you bought. And now, some of them they're bought, uh, and the price was right, but the market changed, so being affected. Number two, where are the focus? Why you're buying Saskatchewan, never be there? Why are buying New Brunswick? Why are buying Ohio? Like all these things. And again, I don't want to, because everybody has a different strategy. And again, what I'm saying here is about my personal own experience. Okay, so I'm not throwing any flash at anybody. I'm not trying to throw any dart at anybody. I'm just sharing my own experience, and that's why I go back to my readings and I get these insights to help me refocus, repurpose the train of my life, and get back on track to do things that will impact the future of my family and my kids, my kids' kids, and my kids' kids' kids, right? Generational wealth and all of that. But again, the most difficult challenge people face is not the lack of knowledge. Think about myself alone. As far as I remember, I am right now part of like prominent real estate communities. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I am currently an active member of 7 prominent real estate communities. Now, what I'm learning through this is that many of these communities, oh my goodness, that's so funny because as I'm going through the messages, there are new people, but most of them are the same people, right? The same people jumping from one guru to another guru, from one master to another, that will help solve the problems of our lives. So we're gonna get rich too. Like, I kid you not, same people, okay? And then I come on this book, like, yes, the guy that wrote The Art of War said, we all have 2 lives, the one we live and the one we are capable of living. We all have 2 lives, the one we live and the one we are capable of living. As such, we often suppress the life we are capable of living because the lack, and it's not the knowledge, it's the execution. And people say, knowledge is power. No, it's not. No, not entirely true. Knowledge without execution is nothing. It's futile, it's useless, okay? Now, do you want to really experience growth? You got to understand the power of execution. Why I'm saying about the groups, it's nothing against the group. Like, no, and the opposite. I like the vibe and I like the people and the energy and the hype and wow, and we get together and we hug and we kiss and what are you working on? Oh, I'm working this thing. Oh, so am I. Oh my goodness. Woohoo! The hype. Like, and I feed out of people's energy, right? Like I love to be in that environment where like everybody's together and we are there and thinking and going through these things. Like I love that. I really, really do love that. But then you learn all these things, all these strategies. Like, this is ridiculous, right? Because I'm preaching the choir. Why the heck am I studying the midterm industry? I mean, education, I don't think is never enough. Like, I will be always educating myself as long as I can. Like I love studying, I love reading. But then it's like, oh my goodness, I met this girl that was killing in the midterm with the midterm strategy. Okay, I'm gonna dive deep. I bought the book and I watched her seminar. It's like, this is amazing. What did I do? Nothing. So then this is just another book. Okay. Then, same thing. I follow this guy, I read everything that he throws out there, I buy. Like, this is the Bible. Like, this book here, there's so much knowledge. Sandro, tell me one thing from this book that you applied. Zero. This dude, Myron Golden, check him out. Go to social media and check Myron Golden's out. Like, check him out. Myron Golden, this guy, OMG, like, he's one of these guys. Like, where, like, how he came up with this? I bought the book. Oh my goodness, eight communities, because I joined his community too. I bought the book, did the exercises, joined the community, connected people from the group. Sandro, what is the one thing you learned on this book that you're applying? Zero. So, guys, this is a wake-up call. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, are you applying the power of knowledge, or you're applying the power of the execution? Again, I'm just saying this because I was after get my brother give me a slap in the hand and went back to the book, and I'm just sharing with you guys what I've learned in the past few hours, right? I mean, that's the third time that I read this book, but this time I came with a different lens, and like right there, I want to say it again, the most difficult challenge people will face is not the lack of knowledge, but it's the lack of execution. Boom! Having a plan without executing it is a futile attempt at being productive. Woo, take that one. Let's go to the next one. Consistent actions is the key to making your dreams come true. Are you being consistent? Again, I was having this conversation last week with somebody. You gotta be more consistent in social media because it's a tool. Stop just using your phone just to pass time, to get a dopamine that feels good watching other people's lives, like the lives of Instagram. Use it as a tool to get the results you're looking to get to your own life. Okay, I heard you. People lose or win by scores and statistics. Having a way to measure your ability is very important to know where you stand. I'm working with a mentor right now, Mark Friends, a gentleman that's from Calgary, relocated to Regina. He bought a 70-unit apartment building, converting to 100 units. I'm learning like a ton because this is the first project that I am actively part of. That is this massive conversion, and he's a psychologist and all of that. So I asked him, I'm like, Mark, I need help. Can we do anything? And he has a coaching practice. So I made the investment and working with him. And like every time we get together, he comes with these scores and it's like, but why are you doing this? And I said, wow, Sandro, we cannot measure if you're having progress or not to identify the challenge here, to identify the lack so you can focus on the abundance if you don't measure. And yes, the scores and the statistics will help us to identify where exactly we are at. Now, don't mistake interest for commitment when it comes to developing ideas. I have on my phone a page on my notes that when a crazy idea comes, I just go there and I type this idea, and I'm typing, right? Like unloading my mind. But then having the interest for something and don't having the commitment is just like, oh my goodness, look how creative I am. Okay, Mr. Creative, what are you doing with all the creativity? Are you really committing and taking the actions that you have to get the results? Whoops. Am I talking to somebody here? Yes, I'm talking to myself. Take each day as it comes and make full use of it. If you are hell-bent on making up for lost time, you will lose the present. And you lose the future return. Like, what? I was just saying at the beginning of the call that I was yesterday going through this. Oh my goodness, poor Sandro. And having that conversation with myself, being pity. My brother calls me out of the blue, like I was already in bed. He's like, wake up, stop doing this. What are you doing? 20 years ago is gone. It's a different experience you're having now. And then as I'm reading the book, boom, right there in my face. Take each day as it comes and make full use of it. If you're hell bent on making up for a lot of time, exactly what I was doing, I would be losing the opportunity to have this conversation with you today. And then, of course, focusing on the wrong thing will block me from also experiencing the future, right? Because I'm lost in the past. The execution system, I want to challenge myself and I want to challenge yourself as well. Have an execution system plan in place. So have a system of execution in place because it will help you to make conscious decisions. And then I'm just going through my notes here as reading. Okay, execution system is based on 8 elements. 1, vision. 2, planning. 3, process control. 4, measurement. 5, time use. 6, accountability. 7, commitment. And 8, greatness in the moment. And then you can divide these elements in 2 groups. Number 1, the 3 principles and the 5 disciplines. Accountability, and then it talks about what is accountability and the commitment and all of that, and then the disciplines, the vision. So before, I want to get this one, and I want to read this one, but before, Julie made a comment here. Let's see, let's just go here. Okay, Julie is saying, and key indicators for a business in your life. Yes, not just for going through, but have this system that is literally capturing what you're going through your business, what you're going through your personal life, what you're going through your relationships, or going through, or well, it's not what you're going through. That's not the word. Having systems that is giving you clarity for business, relationships, your personal life, partnerships, and legacy, right? The purpose and all of that. So, Julie, I do agree with you 100%. But going back here, and I want to talk about the 5 disciplines. So vision, before embarking on any life-changing journey, you must create a sustainable vision. It means establishing why you should stay committed to achieving that specific goal. Planning, I'm not going to like planning, this is basics, right? A working plan helps you focus the most important things in your life. Make it detailed and realistic. Put a schedule for the day, the week, and the month. Create an effective plan that makes long-term goals your priority. Process control. Use the tools that successfully align your daily actions with the results you're trying to achieve. For example, set the alarm if you need to wake up earlier. The alarm thing, this is a crazy thing. Since, as far as I remember, so October, since October 1st, there's not a single day that I wake up past 5:30 a.m. Like impossible. Usually it's between 4:30 and 5:15, but never passing 5:30. No matter how late I go to bed. If I go to bed at 9:30, 10:30, 11. Last week I went to bed and I couldn't get to sleep because I got some caffeine. It was 1 a.m. and I was still up. I finally fell asleep and then boom, 5:27 up with no alarm because I set up my alarm to wake up at 5. And last year I was doing like for 8 months. Right now I do have the clock right beside my bed, but I don't use the alarm anymore. I just wake up, right? Like Very, very interesting, because now my brain, my body is ready for it. Time use. You must be clear with your intentions regarding your time. Time is a continuum, and you must use it well. When you combine and incorporate all these elements in your 12-week year plan, you have no choice but to achieve steady growth in all areas of your life. It takes courage to admit a mistake and correct it. Owning the mistake will not make you weak. It means that you're bold enough to hold yourself accountable for your actions. Remember, you define your moments and the choices you make with your decisions. People who paint themselves as victims, that's the me yesterday, they will limit their success to the actions of others. They are always under the shadow of an external force, and because they are quick to blame someone or something else, they see life as a struggle. On the other hand, those who are aware of the responsibilities for the well-being always look for ways to realize their desires. They know that when one door closes, there's another door opening. Commitment gives life to things that might otherwise seem lifeless. Oh man. If we did the things that we are capable of doing, we would literally astonish. Like, astound, that's the word. If we did the things we are capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves. This was a phrase said by Thomas Edison. Like, I was having that conversation with my brother. Thomas Edison was his ability to fail. We are having this conversation with light, and I have the light here in front of me, and I have the light here on the side, and I have another light here, and I have this light because of Thomas Edison failing 1,000 times until like, oh, he got the light. And exactly, if we do what we are capable of, we will be surprised with ourselves. I love this. And finally, the conclusion. Try this. Make a list of all of your interests and rank them based on their importance. Choose the most important ones and commit to them using a plan. Enforce your commitment by applying the elements of commitment, right? As we discussed, the vision and having the accountability and the process control and measurement and the best use of your time. And you will have a powerful day. You will have a powerful week. You will have a powerful year. You will have a powerful life. So let's take this. And when I'm saying this, and I'm talking to the camera, and I'm talking to Julie, and I'm talking to the people here on Facebook that are watching me live on Facebook as well, after watching me on YouTube, I am actually preaching to myself. It's more about, like what I'm learning through this experiment. Oh my goodness. It's more about what I'm learning through this experiment other than just trying to kick somebody's butt out there. Because yes, when things are going great, it is great, it's good. When things are not going as planned, it's painful. But embrace the pain. Make a plan. And let's go get it! Because we can do it. Let's do the things like, I'm gonna just, this is the phrase, because I wrote down here, and I just want to make another comment to wrap it up, our conversation here in my rant this morning. But there's one thing here that he was saying on the book, and I just want to go over one more time, is that we do things, this one is a very powerful phrase. people, they have two choices, right? And I just spoke about this. We have the choice to do the things we are capable of. I just got the exact phrase here. Go back here. So many notes. Yes. That was written by Stephen Pressfield, that is the author of The War of Art. We have two lives. We have two lives. The one we live and the one we are capable of living. I'm going to say it again to sink in. We have two lives, the one we live and the one we are capable of living. What are you doing? What life are you living? Just the one that are going through the motions, or the one you are capable of living? Think about this for a moment. The richest man in the globe, myself and you, we all have the exact same amount of hours to get things done. The exact same. We measure time differently, but the amount of hours to get things done is exactly the same. So let's just get the dust off. And how about start living the life that we are capable of living? This is my challenge for you today. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing week. And I'm excited to see you again next Monday, right here, the same channel, same link, same hour. Now, before I go, I just want to make sure that I give the opportunity, as I always do. Do you have any questions, any comments? Do you want to contribute in any way to this conversation? Oops, where is the chat here? I'm just looking up. I have two screens. Let me see what's happening on the chat. Oh, my goodness. Julie, are you there?
Sorry, hi. I am here.
Yes. Good morning. Oh, talk
Good
to me.
morning. Good morning. It's an awakening today. I've been just studying those books and joining all of those programs. However, I think I could say that I have done probably 60% of the things that I've learned instead of more than that. I should focus on trying to execute as opposed to taking in more knowledge. So this is my goal this week. Taking those notes that I have, rereading them, and then applying them.
I love this. And how powerful is this? It's not about the lack of knowledge. It's the lack of execution.
Totally.
Thank you for sharing. Because again, I'm going through these motions myself, I'm going through these challenges myself. And I'm just being vulnerable, right? Like I'm just trying to be vulnerable. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I see the value, right? Like I spend a lot of money. Let me rephrase. I spend a lot of credit in all these programs that I joined. And it's very easy to blame someone. Like, it's very easy. Like, oh, I'm in this predicament because I listened to such and such. That's my own fault. I did it, right? But I'm realizing that I'm not afraid to execute, but just how am I execute? executing it. Where is my focus is? Like what we focus on, that's what grows. Are we focused on lack or are we focused on abundance? So thank you very much for joining me this morning.
Thank you
Thank you very
for
much
allowing me to talk.
yes,
Share.
pleasure. I would love to have more of you guys. But some, no, don't call me. I'm getting the message here. Don't call me. Don't call me. But I have an amazing week, and it's just like I needed this. Like I needed this wake up call myself. I'm so glad. I've been really angry. Oh, let me say this. I have just a few minutes left here, and I was really angry. And many of you guys know, like I am a believer. Like I believe in God. I'm not religious, and I actually broke up with religion a long time ago. Like a long time ago. I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual individual, and I believe in God. And like I hear people, oh, I hear from God, and I was getting angry. It's like everybody's hearing from the Lord. Everybody's hearing God's voice. I am not. I am not. Let's just be honest here. I am not. And I got angry. So as I was getting ready to go to bed, I prayed this prayer in my mind. God, if you are real, like those 4 words. So sorry, 5. God, if you are real, I want to have a dream. Talk to me in any way. So that's exactly what I said. Please talk to me anyway, in any way. I just want to hear from you. Again, I was literally laying down. My brother calls me. I answered the call, and I was like, just that. Whack. And then this morning, so then I wake up. I was awake at this point, right? Because then I got the whack that I wasn't expecting. Opened the book, read the book, and then I'm like, huh, maybe this connection is happening in a different way. It's not that I'm going to have this, oh my goodness, I have this dream that something's going to appear and happen, but somebody's going to come and talk to me, something that I need to hear. And then boom, the book. And every single thing that I discussed with my brother was in the book that I already read years ago. And it was literally so important for the moment I'm going through. And the reason I'm sharing this is because I want not just myself to be focused on the execution, but just, yes, keep getting knowledge is important. But again, just getting this knowledge without applying it and executing with a proper plan, I'm going to be just sitting here being petty about myself. And I don't want this for me, nor for you. So let's go conquer. We got this. So, guys, have an amazing week. Stay blessed by the best. Thank you for you guys that joined me here on Zoom. Thank you for you guys that joined me on Facebook. I just see a message here. Danusia, good morning. Yes, enjoy your flight. Safe travels to Montreal. And if you guys want to connect with me, I'm having this thought of taking a break. Yesterday, I was like, I'm going to take a break and I'm going to disappear. But no. It's not about disappearing. It's about executing. So let's execute. And if you want to connect with me, please send me a message, private message on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. Let's connect. Stay blessed by the best. Have an amazing week. And I see you next Monday at 7 a.m. Take care, guys.